Yeah, I think it's fitting to start with Revelations 18:4. Then I heard another voice from heaven say, "Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues."
Change the pace.
Now, I'm talking about America, man. And it's time, it's getting near that time for a lot of you guys to get out. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna have to get out where I am as well. But how's America treating productive black men at the moment? How's America treating its masculine, forward-thinking, do-for-self men at the moment? Right? Because remember, this is chess, it's not checkers. And right now, the way I see it, you had your lynchings going on. You had your wholesale killing of black people going on. You had one or two intellectual masturbators who'd get on a mic and right? But then you had real people on the ground like Grandmaster Jay going out and doing something about it. See, what Americans need to understand is the ripples of Grandmaster Jay go beyond your shores. Everyone's so inculcated in America. You think everything that goes on in America is the be-all and end-all. You got a man who organized so many thousands of people, had the establishment shook. And then what happens? All of these B-grade substitute Negroes coming out as authorities on the microphone, not doing anything, but calling down a man who's out there doing something. He certainly put a stop to the lynchings though, didn't he? The intellectual masturbators on the microphone didn't stop anything, okay? But Grandmaster Jay on the street stopped a lot of things. And when he was taken down, all I'm hearing from all of these other ambitious websites, let's just say, is, "Oh, I can't trust him. Oh, you don't know. Oh, he looks like he's an agent." These people, you haven't got your GED, yeah, but you can spot an agent. Half the people that I'm watching don't even seem to have like a graduate from high school, but you can spot espionage, yeah. Okay, let's look at Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson building a school. And I've never seen so much derision against a black man trying to build a school. And it's come from some very surprising quarters, but I have to say some very unsurprising quarters as well. You can't sit behind a computer where no one even knows what you look like and call down the brother. I mean, I put my face out there so that anything that I say, I can get direct criticism from my people. Because my people know that I am speaking to them. And then in turn, they can speak to me. I understand some people want to go incognito and some people don't want to show their faces, but we're getting to a time where, like, fuck that. There's too many white people out here pretending to be black people. So if you're going to hide behind an avatar and expect to be taken seriously 100%, fuck off, not outside of your own limited borders. Run that game with everyone in your own country. We're seeing the wood for the trees out here. See, the thing is, I make my videos for my cousins and my relatives who live in America, who have the same blood as me, right? But I'm over here in the UK. We're the same blood as the people in America and the same blood as the people in the Caribbean. What kind of divisive moron would come along and try to put division between black Americans and black Caribbeans? I'd say a Zionist influenced one, trying to cause division when there should be unanimity. See, the unanimity came earlier with the Hebrew Israelites, who told you that you were all the same branch. But then along come other people and then try and make divisions. I remember at a time when I needed black solidarity and I wanted black solidarity out of Americans for what was going on in Libya and the massacre of black people and the eradication of the black town of Tuarega, the most advanced black civilization on the planet Earth, where the most advanced black people were living in Libya. Air conditioning, high-speed internet, everything. Not that you Americans knew anything about that, but you bombed the shit out of it and you destroyed a town of some of the most advanced, technologically advanced black people on the face of the planet Earth who were living in Libya. You don't know that. And then I jump onto the internet and I see some Tsar, whatever his name is, talking about how Gaddafi took Libya over from a black man, which basically, in the minds of all young people now, disqualify Gaddafi out of any interest. We're not interested anymore. You took power from a black man. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He took power from King Idris, or one of the Idris line, who in turn took power from black people in Libya. So get your fucking facts right. But you'll be on the street in New York chatting to loads of people, influencing 100 bagger man. I made this point with someone else the other day. If I was repping black power and I was living with a blonde Danish girl, And I have lived with a blonde Danish girl before. But if I was repping Black Power and then you came around my house and then you saw that I was living with a blonde Danish girl, I'd appear quite disingenuous. Yeah, you'd have cause not to believe me. If I had a white mother-in-law living in my house, a white Jewish mother-in-law living in my house, and I never said anything about it, and I'm repping Black Power, by the time you find out, you shouldn't trust me. If I told you, by the way, yeah, I got a white bitch from Denmark, Black Power, then you could either take or leave me. If I told you, yeah, I got a Zionist living in the house, but don't worry, it doesn't affect my politics, Black Power, then you'd be more informed as to whether or not you'd believe me or not. But if you find that shit out and that shit was kept on the sly and hidden from you, I'd call that disingenuous. I'd call that a bit of a liar. I'd call that a bit of a scammer trying to get in underneath you. You don't know where that information is coming from. You don't know where all this divisive politics is coming from all of a sudden. But someone's got a platform and they got a lot of listeners. Some of you, right, when we tell you 101 times to do your own research, you don't want to do your own research. You want to listen to someone else. And you want to listen to someone else who will convince you. A lot of times people think that just because I've got an English accent, I'm convincing. It's not because I've got an English accent that I'm convincing. It's because I use logic and reason that I'm convincing. Maybe the accent might add a nice little layer on top of it. But essentially, at the heart of it is logic and reason. So I do not feel that I need to exaggerate my voice as though I was some Shakespearean actor, and then you must listen to me because the manner in which I am delivering this information to you means that you must now be fully invested in all of my words. I don't have to do that. I don't have to play any games. Because you should just feel the honesty and truth out of me. You NFAT guys, all I'm seeing now is people slagging off Grandmaster J when Grandmaster J's already been taken down. Chestnut checkers. Grandmaster J came along, stopped the lynchings. Guys took Grandmaster J down. Along comes Kevin Samuels to fill the need of that level of masculinity. Yeah? Kevin Samuels came along and filled that gap. The substitute snipers, you didn't rise to fill the gap. Did you notice that? The substitute snipers, they didn't rise to fill the gap. Along came Kevin Samuels and filled the gap. Why? Because, like, you don't go from writing books on how to be a fuckboy, yeah, to being the man that runs things who's respected. You don't go from fuckboy to man, okay? So, yeah, a lot of people with previous fuckboy narratives, yeah, they got a bit butthurt when Grandmaster J came along. Of course they got butthurt when Umar Johnson came along. Of course they did, because as far as they're concerned, they're stealing their spotlight, what they think is theirs, like the black community belongs to them. That's really low-level thinking, and the fact that they've got you guys roped in. If you're black and you're in politics, you shouldn't be believing anybody. You should be eating and spitting out the bones from everybody. You shouldn't be behind one person. I follow a few people, but I'm never behind one person. Every person I follow that says some out-of-pocket shit that makes you think, whose name are you coming in? Yeah? So right now, you got a whole bag of them over there. I'm not going to mention any names because I'm not trying to be controversial. You should be able to see for yourself. Grandmaster J goes down. Now you got this little Nas X Satanism running around. Okay, your lynchings are coming back. But he's a government agent. Believe me, while I hide behind my avatar and my safe house, and people are out there on the street, yeah, dealing with the misfires, dealing with all the embarrassing thing that all media is going to throw at them as they make their attempt to do something, while other people just sit in their houses and snipe. Nah, man, it's not good what's going on. All you guys are doing is some crabs in a bucket scenarios over and over again. Along comes Umar Johnson, trying to pull him down, say he ain't creating a school. Just because some other little person runs along, creates another little school, you're so dumb, you're going to go, well, he created a school. Why is it? Well, his school's for 10 people. But he created a school. Well, he's collected all of this money, and he hasn't built a school yet. Like, do you know how much effort it takes to build the type of school Umar Johnson wants to build? A lot of you Americans, you're embarrassing, man. You're embarrassing on the world stage. You're an embarrassment to yourselves. right? Let's look. We gotta get the house in order before we can fight white supremacy. Yeah, I don't want to be fighting white supremacy with someone behind me with a knife at my neck. And if you catch that interview with Roland Martin and the young conservative guy who called himself a young conservative, but Roland Martin, so rabid in his attack dog mode for the Democrats, immediately assumed this guy is going to be a Republican, started tweeting him in and started drawing him into an argument. Boy ended up getting on the show and pretty much making Roland Martin look stupid. Roland Martin kept pushing and driving. Now, I completely understand where the young man was coming from, do for self. But the young man built a small school. And then you've got idiots going, oh, see, he built a school, but Umar Johnson could build a school. It's so a world apart from concept that all you do is show yourself to be ignorant to the extreme with that type of comparison. That aside, Roland Martin made himself look stupid rather than praise, elevate, and support the young man trying to do for himself. Roland Martin is so invested in democratic defense, okay, that he'll try to make the boy look stupid for not wanting to have any part of government. I completely understand where the boy was coming from. I completely understand. But Roland Martin, in his attempt to make or to shame the young man, went into one of his long diatribes. You see, that was passed in 1965 under Strom Thurmond, and they conducted the filibuster, was one that changed in 1974, and which case then it wasn't amended until Reagan, and then Clinton afterwards, and now you tell me that you want to do the same thing that they were going to get back in 1964. That's how Roland Martin goes on. By the time he gets to the end, you're like, what? What? Because he can talk for days. Now, there may be some continuity in what he's talking about. The only thing is, the length of time it's taken him to get there, we don't care by the time you get to the end, Roland Martin. You're just a windbag. But Roland Martin's got airtime. Roland Martin tried to make the king, young king, whatever guy's name is, I'll put it up in the link, look stupid. Because basically he's operating for his paymasters. He's not even thinking clearly about whether or not this is a positive black man or not. That's not even in his thought process. How can I look good for the Democrats? That's all he's thinking about. I put Roland Martin on my top 10 most influential black men in America list, and he still is. Not for the right reasons, though. Not for the right reasons. Embarrassing. Oh, yeah, and the funny thing is, then Umar Johnson does a video where he shows you the school and the property, and they're walking around showing you where they're developing it. So the school's real. The hard brick facility is real. It's there. They have the address. They have the building. What say you now? All the detractors. He's released a video showing the school. You lot should feel ashamed. This wasn't a Brother Polite scam. Yeah? That's the CMOS gold shit right there. It wasn't a Brother Polite scam. It was a school. And the school's there. So a lot of you should feel ashamed. You should give double. A lot of you should now give double, yeah? Out of shame for calling down a black man doing something, not trying to do something, because there's video of his school. So fuck you lot. It's time for a lot of you to come out of America. A lot of Americans don't deserve NFAC. They don't deserve NFAC. Now hold on a second. I can say that because look how many people are slagging off NFAC. America. A lot of black people don't deserve NFAC. Even if you're going to go scriptural, it's only going to be 1/3 anyway. 1/3 in the elect, right? Right? That 1/3 is going to represent itself in unity in some way, shape, or form. It's not going to be disparate, yeah, buying key rings and pepper spray. It's going to be unified where people know each other's faces and have met each other before and say, come we go. They're all going to know each other. That's what's most likely to happen. That's what I want to happen. That's what would be the best scenario. Because right now, I've just seen one or two of videos that made me a little bit ashamed. Every black man that comes along in America that tries to do something gets slagged off. Every black man that gets any position in terms of media, the first thing they do is try to fight the other person who's number 2 in the media, rather than getting together. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, we're on a smaller scale over here in the UK, but I'm already talking to CFR and candidate Salmon. Yeah, we ain't got no beef. Okay, we're small YouTubers, but at the end of the day, we all know that we're fighting the same fight, and we're going to move in unison, and we're not going to argue over each other over stupid shit. And if we see coons, we're going to call out coons. You know what? Everyone's going to be agreed, because we're going to where was, so you got, in the same sense that you got Robin Walker walking around doing lectures, right? Robin Walker, and then the mainstream give you David Olusogun. David who? Who? I didn't see him in Dalston. I ain't seen him in Brixton. I haven't seen him. Okay, but you've done lectures around it, because I've seen Robin Walker, and I've read Robin Walker's books, and I know Robin Walker is our black historian right now. But the BBC give you David Olusogun. The BBC will give you Shola Shogbamimu. Yeah, the BBC is going to give you all of these different. The BBC is going to give you old retired policemen now. In the UK, that's what they're giving you now. Old retired, because it's exactly everything that happens in America ends up happening over here, right? So once again, look for 1 or 2 prominent black men to get taken down a peg. Yeah, look for 1 or 2 prominent people who are going out there. I would say forever families, what you ask. Because there's forever families, there's B&B hunters, there's people out there in the manor who are now sick of what the establishment have fashioned around us and are pushing back against the direct perversions that have been allowed to profligate in our communities. We're pushing back. So yeah, we're pushing back in numerous different ways. And I'm taking note of all of the people that are cursing out the people that are trying something. Yeah? Because I tell you what, yeah, even if I have to be 80 years old, yeah, if we leave, yeah, and I find you in amongst our numbers, I'm throwing you the fuck off. But then some of you, it'd be really hard to tell because you don't show your faces, do you? So I'll recognize your voice when I hear it. But you'll know me when you see me, right? No one's going to know what you look like because you're hidden. Why would you be hidden? Or not. Maybe I'm just talking rubbish. But one thing I do know is that the manosphere is undeniable. Yeah. In whatever, I'm not familiar with all of their colloquialisms. I don't know what a red pill is. I don't know what a blue pill is. I don't give a shit. Right. But just in terms of the general masculinity and the want, the desire to move back to that original setup, that's being met with resistance at the moment by more black people than white. Are you taking note of any of the names? I think you should.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not.